Good morning, guys. So, we're going to start the next unit today, and the next unit is basically a anatomy unit, the anatomy of mammals, and we're going to be talking about human anatomy for this unit in particular. So, structure, we're going to be looking at the structure of different parts of the or systems of the human body and what their functions are. So everywhere you look, the structure of things are always directly related to their function. So for example, how is the structure of a spoon related to its function? So the spoon, it's made up of different materials. Like this one right over here is a metal spoon. It has a long handle and a oval shaped depression here, and it is designed so that you can hold it with your fingers and with one hand, and to put a small portion of food from another container, a bowl, a plate, into your mouth. So if it was square shaped, for example, it wouldn't be as effective as the round oval shape right here. If it was flat, it wouldn't be as effective as it is now, because it is more concave shaped, the round oval portion of the spoon. So this structure of this object is related to the function and the purpose that spoon serves. So every structure in a living thing has an important function, and the function relies on the structure. So the term anatomy, basically it's the shape and arrangement of the parts that make up an organism. And the physiology is basically how the different parts of that organism work. So anatomy is really kind of related to the structure of an object or part of a system, and the physiology is related to the function of that particular part of the system. So the human body is organized in a way in which we look at the tiniest part of matter, and these smaller, tinier particles form larger molecules, which form even larger macromolecules, until you have a complete human being. So all humans, this is a diagram or illustration of a male. He is composed of a number of different organ systems. So this is basically the liver, we have the stomach here, we have the large intestine, and we have small intestines. This is basically an organ system that is responsible for digestion. This is just one of the organ systems that is part of that male human. Okay, there's also the skeletal system, which is basically all the bones that allow this human to stand upright. There's the respiratory system that you can't see here, but it composes the lungs, the diaphragm, the trachea, and the nasal cavity, and the mouth allows for breathing in and breathing out, and obtaining oxygen, and getting rid of carbon dioxide. So, and all the way down to the nitty-gritty tiniest part, which are the atoms. And for example, this is looks like a water molecule. So you have two hydrogen atoms and an oxygen, and these form in addition to other molecules, they form much larger macromolecules, as you know, carbohydrates, lipids, nucleic acids. We studied all of them, and those get together and they make things like organelles that are parts of a larger cell, animal cell, and these cells form tissues, and then these tissues form organs, and then organs form organ systems. So there's a whole level of organization. So we're going to be looking at the anatomy and physiology of the different human systems. And in particular, there's 3 that we'll be looking at in particular, but humans have 11 organ systems. The first one is the nervous system. And the nervous system is responsible for allowing us to feel the things that we feel. So the reason we can physically feel things, it's a network, it includes a network of specialized cells that do the job of detecting, interpreting, and responding to events that occur outside and inside the body. So things that we know because we're looking and we're hearing and we're smelling and we're feeling, but things that we don't know and are not aware of that are happening inside the body as well. It's a very complex system, and it includes the brain is the central nervous system, and then the spinal cord and these branching nerves are the rest of that nervous system. So have you ever accidentally put your hand on something really hot like a stove? And then removed that hand and then felt the pain after you removed your hand? Well, the reason why this happens, it's like almost like an automatic response, is because there's special receptor cells at the ends of your tips of your fingers, for example, on your skin, that connects a whole bunch of nerves. It goes, and they are connected to your spinal cord and then your brain. That information from that registers that you've touched something really hot goes very, very quickly to your brain, and your brain coordinates that information and it knows that you've done something that's dangerous to your body, and it coordinates a response, basically making your muscles contract to move your arm away. And you don't even realize that you've done that. It's kind of your brain takes care of that information for you. And then you feel pain. So that's the nervous system. Then you have the endocrine system, which is basically the system that comprises all of the hormones. It regulates and produces hormones. It's important for metabolism, basically how fast your body can use food. It's important for sexual function, reproduction, sleep, your mood, lots of other PMS, that's premenstrual syndrome. So that's your endocrine system. Your third one is your skeletal system. It includes your bones and the connective tissues, and including the ligaments and the cartilage that connect the bones together. And then the skeleton system also does the job of protecting those soft organs that are underneath here, like your stomach, your liver, your lungs. And then it's the points of attachment for muscles, your skeletal system. It won't be able to move without being attached to your muscles, which contract and relax. Can you think of any bones that protect soft organs? So your rib cage, this is full of bones that can protect the very important organs of, like, for example, the lungs, the heart, the liver, the gallbladder. Those are all protected by this rib cage. Number 4, the muscular system. Okay, the skeletal muscles, they are the ones that move the skeleton. The smooth muscles, they enable movement within the actual organs. And then there's cardiac muscles that are within your heart, for example, that allow your heart to continually beat. Can you think of any organs that need to move in order to function? Well, your digestive system is important for it has to move. There's a series of relaxation and contractions that happen along your digestive tract over here that allow food to go into your digestive system, into your stomach, and into your intestine, so that absorption of nutrients can take place. Number 5, the digestive system. This is what I was talking about. This is what is known as an esophagus, and it is the passageway for food that is coming through your mouth. It's swallowed, it enters the esophagus, and then finally it enters into your stomach. And this happens as a result of these muscles that line that esophagus, that push that food down. So the digestive system job is to break down food into molecules that are made up of. Body's cells use these molecules for energy and for building blocks. You need nutrients to build new cells and to build organs and tissues. So the digestive system is very important for that. Anything that can't be used by the body is eliminated as waste. Number 6, the urinary system. This basically filters and excretes dissolved waste molecules from the blood. A buildup of waste molecules in the blood can be very dangerous. So your bladder stores that waste. The kidneys filter your blood. And then whatever is left that the body doesn't need, it comes out and is stored in the bladder as urine, and then it is excreted out. And if it's not excreted out, that waste product is not excreted out, you can basically die from sepsis. It balances the amount of water in your body, pH, and blood pressure. So the color of your urine can tell you how well your urinary system is working, with some exceptions, of course. But if you have like light yellow colored urine, that means that your urinary tract system is doing a good job. And when it's very dark, like this dark, kind of almost orangey yellow, that means that your body needs water. You're severely dehydrated. You don't have enough water. So, and sometimes your pee looks like that after you've had vitamins, and that's not necessarily that you're dehydrated. So that's why there's some exceptions to that rule. Number 7 is the integumentary system. It includes the hair, the nails, and the skin. Basically, it's the skin that protects your internal body. The hair on your body and your head regulates temperature. And the hair in your there's hair that's lining your nose, and that basically helps to filter the things that you don't want to entering into your body. And that's why we have hair that is lining our nostrils. Number 8, the immune or lymphatic system. It basically protects your body from infection, injury, and cancer. It's a very complex system. It works very hard when you're sick. For example, you have swollen lymph nodes. These are your lymph nodes right here. The doctor will feel for those to see if there's an infection, because they become inflamed and basically swollen when you are sick and your immune system is reacting. The circulatory system. This is the system that transports very important substances like food, oxygen, carbon dioxide throughout the body. You probably don't remember the chemical formula for cellular respiration, but cellular respiration is where you have glucose plus oxygen, and it reacts to produce carbon dioxide, energy, and water. And that circulatory system includes all the veins and the arteries and your heart and the very thin blood vessels known as capillaries, which connect the arteries and the veins together. And then number 10, the respiratory system. This is the system that is responsible for allowing you to breathe, to take in oxygen, and to get rid of carbon dioxide. So there's a gas exchange that takes place between the lungs and the atmosphere. So the oxygen and carbon dioxide is exchanged. Oxygen is needed to release energy into body cells during cellular respiration. And carbon dioxide is a waste product that's formed during cellular respiration, but it needs to be expelled. So that's your respiratory system allows for that expulsion of the carbon dioxide, and it allows for you to gain oxygen from the outside atmosphere and into your lungs, and then into the respiratory circulatory system, so that it can travel all around to where it's needed. And why do you breathe faster when exercising? Well, because you need more oxygen when you're exercising. Your oxygen is needed to release energy in the body cells, and when you're exercising, you're using up more energy. The more energy you're using up, the more oxygen you need. So when you in order to gain more oxygen, you need to breathe faster and deeper to gain that extra oxygen. And then the 11th one is a reproductive system, the systems that allow for you to have offspring, which includes organs that make and transport sperm and eggs. These are gametes, as well as enable the female body to give birth. Okay, remember these terms: germ cells, gamete, zygote, from your genetics unit. But this is the diagram of the male reproductive system, and this is a diagram of the female reproductive system. So these are the different systems, organ systems of the body. We are going to be looking at 3 of these in more detail. We are going to be looking at the respiratory system, the digestive system, so this one here, the digestive system, the circulatory system, and the respiratory system in more detail. So that will be your next lesson. Until then, I will be posting a little bit of homework and some reading, and I will talk to you again soon. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.